We are live. Welcome, Catherine.
Hi, that was Dr. Kuj, my director and co-host. I'm Catherine Maruri, the producer and your host. This is Living the Life You Love, Episode 7. A woman defies a deadly diagnosis, heals, and rises to empower kids through the arts. The amazing journey of Pat Martin.
This series features people who have found a way to live the life they love. Today's show features guest is Pat Martin. Her life is an inspirational journey of a woman of faith reaching for the stars and consistently succeeding against all odds. And as you will soon see, God is obviously not quite finished with her yet.
Pat Martin is a graduate of Florida A&M University. She has a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and has now been practicing for 30 years. Also, she has served 21 years as a licensed ordained minister and pastor.
She's also the founder and executive director of the award-winning performance arts nonprofit called Kids Dance Project. She has penned multiple children's musical theatrical productions, and over the past 24 years, her plays have appeared throughout Georgia, in New York, off-Broadway, and Chicago. Her works have been featured on various television programs and networks, including ABC, CBS, NBC, MTV, VH1, and, of course, MTV and the CW.
Though she has had many major accomplishments, none of them could surpass the drama of the major health battle she faced after being misdiagnosed with malignant cancer of the esophagus. She survived this battle with incredible faith, willpower, determination, unique and bold choices, and an unconventional solution.
Pat Martin always brings energy, light, and joy in whatever room she enters.
It is truly a pleasure to introduce to our audience the amazing Pat Martin.
Thank you for having me.
Before we go any further, I have an exciting announcement for our audience. Pat Martin has several exciting gifts for those of you who want to stay to the end of the program, including, best of all, an opportunity to make an indelible mark on the lives of some African children. More on this later.
Your life reads as a multifaceted novel, any chapter in which could be made basically to a movie. Perhaps the most dramatic chapter occurred 30 years ago when you had an inability to drink, consume food, and this was actually threatening your life, and the doctors suspected that you had throat cancer. What did they find when they cut your throat, and how did you find out that you were misdiagnosed?
Well, Catherine, my journey started over 30 years ago when I was actually working as a nurse in a hospital. And I went to go take a quick break and to go to the break room to drink coffee. When I drank the coffee, I noticed I had some difficulty swallowing it, and I just couldn't get it quite to get down. And so in the days and weeks to come, I was starting to have more and more difficulty swallowing, where I couldn't swallow any food or coffee or water or anything. And so as it got increasingly worse, I knew that there was something terribly wrong, and I knew I needed to seek medical attention, which I did. I talked to one of the doctors I worked with, and so they hospitalized me, but they couldn't find out what it was.
Wow.
To make the long story short, I moved to Atlanta, and then they tried to treat me for this particular incident. And so while treating me, believe me, I've had all kinds of treatment modalities to try to help correct the problem. I've had these things called dilatations, where they just stick a tube down to try to stretch the muscle open. That was temporary. I had a surgical procedure that was temporary, to the point the doctor said, this may only last 1 year. You know what the power of suggestion is like.
What was the actual disease that was strangling you to death? How did that work?
Well, what happened, they finally diagnosed me with a condition called achalasia. And in achalasia, what happens is the muscle gets tightened just above the stomach opening, and it closes off the opening to the stomach. That means that's why no food could pass down into your stomach.
Wow. What did the conventional doctors propose as a permanent solution?
Well, what the conventional doctors wanted to do was they wanted to cut out the damaged part of my esophagus and then take my stomach and pull it up into my chest. That was their solution.
So, wow. Why did you take an unconventional path to relieve your life-threatening symptoms, and what was it?
Well, Catherine, because I'm in the medical field, I know what the results of such a radical surgery could be. And so I decided to try and seek out something different. And in my case, I was looking at the difference between Eastern medicine and Western medicine. And you know, if you ever bought a bottle of medication and saw the side effects on the back, I didn't want to go through a lot of the side effects. So that's why I chose to do the Eastern medicine, and I actually chose to do acupuncture.
Nice. So how did that turn out for you?
It was phenomenal. I can't even explain how phenomenal it was and just how it actually works. All I know is that the first time I went for acupuncture, within 48 hours, I was eating and swallowing food like nothing had ever happened. It was a sheer miracle.
Wow, that's amazing. So what was your takeaway out of all of this?
My biggest takeaway was something that the doctor who did the acupuncture did. When I went to see her, the last thing she did was to physically attend to me. The first thing she did was just to sit down and talk to me about what was going on in my life, because she understood, as most people do in Eastern medicine, that the human body has several facets. We are mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual beings. And anything that affects one component of your body affects everything.
I agree.
Another chapter in your journey was your decision to help others by becoming a registered nurse. However, you tried 6 times to pass the state board. You almost quit trying. What changed your mind?
Ooh, I guess the real answer is more of a who changed my mind. Because after 6 tries, you can imagine, to go to college 4 years and then you can't really do what you went to college for. But while working as a nursing assistant, the person who was the nursing director at the facility, she looked at my file for whatever reason and saw that I had a BS degree in nursing. She called me to the office and asked why was I not working as a registered nurse. And I told her because I didn't pass the test after taking it 6 times. At that point, she would not let it rest. And she physically took me to the bus station, put me on a bus, sent me back to Jacksonville, Florida, to take that test for the 7th time. But that time I passed.
Thank God.
What was your takeaway from this experience?
Well, that experience taught me that sometimes when you've had a long period of difficulty in your life, and you may get to the point where you lose all hope in yourself, all it takes is that one person in your life that still believes in you, who can encourage you to do what they know that you can do. That one person can make the difference in your life.
Another chapter in your journey was the decision for you to write several books and become a national speaker. What inspired that?
Well, it's ironic, the fact that I started writing, well, I've been writing all of my life, but I wrote that great inspirational book at a time when I was at my lowest. I was actually in a hospital on a hospital bed, and I began writing my inspirational book. From that low point, I wrote something to help other people to learn how to get over their low points and the obstacles in their lives.
Awesome. Tell us about your first 2 books.
Well, the very first book I wrote, it's called The Butterfly, and that's a story of a butterfly who was beautiful, but she had to learn how to deal with the bullies in her life. And she also had to learn that no matter how beautiful she was, she couldn't fly until she learned to forgive the one who broke her wings.
And the second one?
And the second book I wrote was called You Can Get There From Here. And that book is subtitled Making It Through the Mazes of Life.
Are these books available now on Amazon?
Yes, absolutely. Both of the books are available to be purchased on Amazon. That's The Butterfly by Pat Martin, and You Can Get There From Here by Pat Martin.
Would you repeat the titles of the books one more time for the audience?
The first one, it's a children's book called The Butterfly by Pat Martin. And then the second is the inspirational book that's called You Can Get There From Here, Making It Through the Mazes of Life by Pat Martin.
You're also a master grant writer, but you do not write grants for people. Why not?
Woo, let me tell you, the art of grant writing, it is an art, and it is a time kind of thing, the time factor. It just is too time consuming to try to do it for others. So what I do is I do the teach a man to fish, and I teach others how to do what I do, because I spend my time researching and writing for my own nonprofit.
In your opinion, what's the most important advice you can give people about seeking a grant?
Well, if you were to ask me what is the secret to really getting grants, that in one word is the word relationships. Because people don't give money to paper, people give money to people.
That's right. Another part of your journey, Pat, is the coordination of your musical theater, plays, dance performances with the kids. As the founder of Kids Dance Project, Inc., you produce, direct, coach, train, and also manage a traveling play. Let's take a peek at your trailer. Beautiful. I have a bunch of questions. Where do the kids from Kids come from? How is this project organized? Where do you get professional stage staff? What are the ages of these kids and who trains them?
Well, Catherine, those questions sounds like it's a lot of work, and it is. Well, the kids come from the community. I often say these are ordinary kids doing extraordinary things. And when we get kids from the community, we do train them in all dance forms, from classical ballet to hip hop and everything in between, depending on what the script calls for. And then because I do children's musical theater, believe me, I get a lot of accolades, but I certainly don't do it alone. I have a wonderful staff that happen to be my own adult children. My oldest daughter is my greatest choreographer and dancer. Her name is Melody Martin. My youngest daughter, who is my music director, her name is Tracy Martin, and Tracy actually is a professional keyboardist who is touring the world. She has been the music director for Janelle Monáe. She is also touring right now with Fantasia, and most people know these people. So her schedule is extremely busy. So I'm always praying, dear God, please let her be in town for our shows. And it has always worked out. And then I also have a stage manager. Her name is Mashika Carson, who is like my own. And I say I will never do a theater production without her, because that lady can manage some theater, and she does it professionally out in Los Angeles. And she too also comes to town whenever I do a show with the kids.
That's awesome.
You recently started a project with a group of children in Ghana that led to a special relationship in that country with a particular village. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, I did. Because I love working with children, I was on Facebook browsing, like most of us do sometimes, and I came across this ad that said they were looking for, it was a book drive for children who live in Ghana, and they wanted books and school supplies and shoes, and so I started sending books. And then I was sending them to the person who was over the program there, whose name is Prosper Azamati. And Prosper and I developed a good working relationship for the kids. He would videotape the children receiving the books that I sent. So I know that I got them. But it also let me know that I now was able to have interaction with these children just via technology of Facebook Messenger. So after I started sending school supplies, I got to the point where I started teaching the children to dance in Ghana as well.
I understand you teach African girls and boys hip hop, contemporary ballet over Facebook. How is that working out?
It's a wonderful thing. Because I've been working with them for a minute, I wanted to do something special for them, and I sent them all t-shirts that say Kids Dance Project so that they could feel that they're a part of what we do. So now we have a unit of kids in Africa as well. I'm so excited about that. But we're able to do that via this Facebook Messenger. And we use that to teach the children. And it's not even so much about teaching them dance, because you know they can dance. So it's even more so about learning and having an appreciation for cultural differences and sharing cultural knowledge in the area of dance and the arts.
Right. So one of my favorite chapters in your incredible journey is your efforts to bring clean water to the children in Amanasi, a small village a half hour away from Accra, Ghana. How did this project come about?
Well, like I said, whenever I would send supplies over to the children, Prosper would allow me to see the kids over there. He would videotape them often. And I was able to see the conditions that the children in the village were living in. Many of these children were orphanages who are being raised by their grandparents, and sometimes they may not have had shoes, but I also saw that they weren't having clean water. And so what they did for their water source, they would drink water from a dirty lake because the old well was broken.
As a nurse, could you share with us the dangers for the families and kids drinking unsanitized water?
Well, you can imagine there are many dangers for children and adults to drink water from a dirty lake, because the animals use this same lake. So the lake can be filled with the excrement of the animals. And so there's much bacteria and parasites that live in the water. And it's these same bacteria and parasites that cause many diseases such as diarrhea or dysentery, cholera, hepatitis, and many things that can cause sickness and disease, even up to death, because of these things that are in the water that they're using to drink and to cook their food with.
Right, absolutely. We at KweliWorks are moved and amazed by your entire life. We have decided to help you raise money for your well project.
Yay!
Today, we are calling on the KweliWorks community of viewers who would like to help us make a contribution towards our goal of raising $3,000 to build the Amanasi well. We call this campaign Dancing for Dignity Fundraiser. It only takes a few good people doing a little to make a big difference. This is our chance to change the future and save the lives of some of our global neighbors. 150 contributing just $20 will build this well. Pat, could you tell us where we could send the money to your 501c3 to help build this well in 2020?
Yes, this is so awesome. If anyone is desiring to help get this well for the kids, they can send it to the bit.ly/KweliWorks /The Well Project, and that's bit.ly/The Well Project. And that's a place, a link that it'll take you to so that you can give your donation there. And thank you in advance.
Pat, I cannot believe that you only need $3,000 to build a well in Ghana that will bring clean water to this small village. How many adults and children will be served when this well is finished?
This well will serve somewhere between 80 and 100 people that live in that village. There are a total of about 500 people in the surrounding communities. And I'm told that the children, many times, some will only have to walk about 10 minutes, others will walk as much as 30 minutes to get to this well, to get the clean water. And they carry heavy bags, heavy yellow containers to gather the water to take it back to their families. But again, that 80 to 100 people can be serviced by this well.
Every person who contributes at least $10 will have their name permanently placed on the well in the village of Amanasi, Ghana. And when you visit, you will be greeted by the elders and the children in the village as heroes that you are for helping to build this well.
Pat, I understand that you're going to Ghana in 2020 as an invited guest, along with everyone who's contributed to this project. Anyone who is watching this project that wants to go. Would you tell our audience about how they can join you, visit their well, and see some of the incredible historic sites on the Gold Coast, such as the Door of No Return that Obama and his family passed through in 2009?
Yes, Cooch, I am so excited about this trip. The trip is going to take place August 10th through the 16th in 2020. And the special day is right in the middle of that week, August 12th, which happens to be my birthday. But I won't be getting gifts. I'll be giving gifts to the children in the village. And not only will we be servicing them and have big ceremony, a ceremony to dedicate the well with the names of the people who helped in the village on that day, but we also are going to take time to visit some of the special places in Ghana. One of those places, we're going to have a fun time at the Monkey Sanctuary, but then we'll have a very serious moment at a place called the Elamina Castle. And this is the place where the slaves were kept before they were brought to America.
And that's the place where the Door of No Return is.
Yes, it is. And I understand Obama and his whole family actually traveled to Ghana so that they could enter through that doorway, because the story is that once you pass through that doorway, you were never able to return to your country in Ghana again.
It is obvious that you are living the life you love in service to others. Where does the passion, energy, and knowledge come from to be an effective artist, author, trainer, minister, speaker, promoter, life coach, grant writer, entrepreneur, philanthropist, world traveler, registered nurse, Appalachia survivor, self-empowerment educator, producer, director, playwright, and stage manager?
Woo! Can I say this? Every time I feel that God has called me to do something, my question to God is, can you find someone else? But I know that first of all, it's impossible to do all those things without a power greater than myself.
Yeah.
And so I believe that when God made me, he made me in his image. The first thing he did was create. In the beginning, God created. And so I know that I'm a very creative being, and just like God, he created and created and created. And so I just tend to do the same. The more I create, the more I try to create.
We talked to a few people about your creations and your work. This is what they had to say.
Hello, this is Dr. Mark Abernathy, pastor and CEO of Connect Point Christian Center in the Atlanta, Georgia area. When I think of Pat Martin, I immediately am amazed by the work she has been doing with the kids in the Atlanta, Georgia area, in the area of dance, and art, and also the opportunity she offers these children when otherwise they wouldn't have been given this opportunity. Pat Martin is one of the greatest encouragers and motivators in the Atlanta area and who I've ever seen in a lifetime. When she speaks, her stories, her passion, her words, they stick, and they make you want to take action and become that difference maker in our society.
Hi, my name is Destiny Ryland. I'm 21 years old, and I've been with the Kids Dance Project since I was 9 years old. Ms. Pat Martin, the CEO and founder of Kids Dance Project, is one of the most kind, generous, and just passionate people that I've ever met. She's very passionate about instilling life lessons and gems within us, even as I'm currently going through school to be a nurse, and my ultimate goal is to be a physician assistant. I'll never forget that character is better than talent any day, simply because she lives by that and is very passionate about everything that she does, making her one of the greatest role models I have in my life, because her character just remains the same through everything.
My name is Jana B. I'm a speaker, boss cultivator, and CEO of Streamline Success International, a faith-based purpose development company. And I just wanted to take a moment and let you know about Pat Martin, who's a phenomenal empowerment speaker. Not only is she the founder of the Kids Dance Project, a nonprofit organization that builds character through the performing arts in youth and help them realize that character is better than talent any day. And she's been doing that for numerous years and received so many awards that I don't have enough time to tell you, to be honest. But not only has she impacted the community, she has also impacted the lives over the years as an empowerment speaker. She knows how to energize your audience. She knows how to engage them in a way through storytelling and take what it is that you need spoken about and break it down in a way that is applicable to right where they are. Your audience will leave engaged, enthusiastic, and ready to put in the work. She is somebody who is a trailblazer in her field. So if you are interested in Pat Martin, please take a moment and book her, because she is phenomenal at what she does.
Hello, my name is Prosper Azimeti, the founder of Terrace Multimedia, Terrace Charity Foundation, and Terrace Store Ghana. Pat Martin has been a very good mother to us in terms of supporting Terrace Charity Foundation, in terms of an item that we need, items that the children need, and she really has the heart of children in Accra, Ghana. Pat has been supporting us and helping us, giving us advice how I can run Terrace Charity Foundation in Ghana here. Sometimes when it comes to a point, I have to give up for myself, how to get books and other education materials to the children. Whenever I call Pat Martin and then, Pat, this is the challenge that I have. Pat said, my brother, my sister, don't worry. So far as God has called you to do the work of God, there will be a way. Now I can tell the whole world about Pat Martin, what she has been doing to us. One, we have a community whereby we are sponsoring them with education materials through Pat Martin. At the same time too, there's a community called Amanase. They don't have a good water to drink. When I told Pat about this, Pat told me, Prosper, okay, how many population are they? Let me know, and then find out the cost of how I can get them a borehole or a good water to drink. I do the research and I let Pat know, and Pat said, okay, that's good. She's going to support or get them a good water to drink. And since then, Pat has been sending them exercise book, any kind of thing that the children need from the foundation. Recently, I had a package from Pat, donating of a t-shirt, Kids Dance Project t-shirt from Pat Martin. That was about 2 weeks or 3 weeks now. And when I gave it to the children, they were so happy, and they said, Pat, we are waiting to see you in Ghana. All of them know about Pat. Anytime Pat called me on phone, they said, hello, can I talk to my children? Across Ghana? Especially someone like Erica, Theo, Frimpong, what's the name, Philip, and all of them. Anytime Pat called me on phone, she liked to talk to them, hear the voice of them, see how Accra is, how to take picture, take video, and send to Pat. And she always feel happy whenever she see the children. And I am so happy to have someone like Pat, because if you have about 5 people of Pat in this world, I don't think the children will cry anymore. And Pat made a promise to the children that next year, August 2020, she is coming up with a team from America, US, that Atlanta, Georgia, to visit the children in Amanasi to celebrate the birthday with them. So Pat is organizing a trip, a mission trip to Accra, Ghana. That will be in August on his birthday, just to welcome the children, be with the children, celebrate the birthday with the children. So I would like to talk about Pat, how good she is to us, how good she is to the nation. Let us support Pat. Let us support Pat and make sure her dream come true.
Pat, you have 2 talks that you'll be giving on your national tour. Could you tell us what each is about? Just 60 seconds. The first talk, You Can Get There From Here, the title from your book. What is that talk about?
In the book, which it's subtitled Making It Through the Mazes of Life, I'll be talking about 5 of the basic mazes that people have to encounter. One is through health, wealth, relationships, spiritual mazes, and also just every maze that would keep people from ultimately trying to get to where they really need to go in life. And in the book, I'll be talking about strategies to overcome those obstacles so that they can get there from here, wherever their here is.
Your second talk, How to Raise Funds for a Nonprofit Cause. What is that about?
Well, I'll also be teaching people how to do this art of grant writing. You know, people say to me all the time, can you write for me because I can't write for myself? Well, I tell people, if you can tell me your vision, then you can put those same words on a piece of paper, because that's what it is. And that essentially grant writing is what I call online dating. If whatever it is that you like and have a vision for, you find a foundation, a corporation, or an individual who has a heart for the same thing that you have a heart for, so that you have common ground. That's the first step in finding and getting grants that are successful. Not only can you get grant funding, you can also get grant things as well, because I've got a lot of things, meaning vehicles, flat screen TVs, and things of that sort, which are equivalent to funding. That's the kind of thing I'll be teaching in that session.
I am inspired and moved by your entire story. Your incredible courage and successful struggle to seek and secure relief from your disease without radical surgery that would have required moving your internal organs around. Your tenacious struggle to become a registered nurse against all odds. Your ability to spread your messages as both a writer and a speaker to youth and families across the nation and the world. Your love of children and the use of theater and arts to teach dance, to develop minds, bodies, and empower youth and families in the US and around the globe. Your innovative use of Facebook to teach dance from the US to Africa. Your local and global ministry, and your latest project to make the world a safer and healthier place for families and children by bringing clean water to one village in Ghana, Amanasi.
Impressive. Pat, the ancient masters say the obstacle is the path. Your life is proof that that is true.
Thank you very much.
I'm so pleased to announce today that we at KweliWorks have agreed to team with Pat Martin in spreading her performances, messages, plays, and books worldwide. Please contact me if you'd like to book Pat Martin on her play, The Butterfly, in your city or country. For more information on Pat Martin or any of our empowerment coaches, contact me at facebook.com/KweliWorks or KweliWorks@gmail.com or 973-498-8849.
Also, Pat, you have another special gift for our audience. What is it?
Yes, I do. For those who are watching, if you'd like to receive the special gift, I'd like to share with you a PDF form of 13 inspirational quotes that will help to get you to your ultimate destiny by following those words.
To get this bonus, contact us at KweliWorks@gmail.com. That's KWELIWORKS @gmail.com. All you have to do is three things. Give us your email, like KweliWorks on Facebook.com/KweliWorks. Mention that you saw and shared this program with your friends. Pat, I'm proud of you for all you've done and equally for what you're doing next.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mhm. However, simply for what you have done so far, you are the most deserving, you are one of the most deserving people I have ever recognized, with the honor to say that we are going to present you with the KweliWorks Institute's highest honor, the Living the Life You Love in Service to Other Award, to mark your incredible achievements.
Wow.
Your award reads, the Living the Life You Love in Service to Others Award. Congratulations, Pat Martin, for demonstrating by example the power of faith, courage, and creativity that helped you to heal yourself, take control of your destiny against the odds, overcome the challenging obstacles resulting from a life-threatening disease, creating a platform for youth around the world to self-empower themselves, bringing dance, books, and a well to Amanasi, Ghana, and living the life you love in service to others passionately.
I'm so honored, so honored.
Pat, you're a role model for all those who struggle to overcome the conditions that might have killed or disabled them with the faith and strength of the human spirit. Godspeed as you continue to share your story and journey around the nation and the world.
Thank you.
Pat, thank you for coming to us live all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. And thank you to our audience for joining us on our 7th episode. Please tell us what you think.
I'm Coach for Living the Life You Love, coming to you live from Orlando, Florida. Free your mind and empower yourself.
I'm Catherine Maruri for Living the Life You Love, coming to you live from New York, New York.
Please join us next time when our show features Dr. Donald Tate, grief recovery specialist, who will be exploring the topic, how to free your mind and release the grief.
And until then, live passionately.